Hey guys, it's Dr. Jonny Bowden. Today I want to talk to you about something called the cytokine storm. And I'm bringing it up because it's something you're probably going to be hearing about a lot. It comes up sometimes in acute respiratory diseases like what we're dealing with now, infectious diseases. It's rare but extremely dangerous. And one of the reasons it's so relevant to talk about now is that there are currently some internet rumors and discussions about how some of the supplements that we recommend, that all of us have been recommending for the general strengthening of the immune system, that how some of those supplements might, in some susceptible people, set off this cytokine storm, which, as I'm about to explain, is not a good thing. So, what's the cytokine storm? Well, cytokines are a shorthand for chemicals in the body that are super inflammatory. So as part of our immune system, as part of our inflammatory response, we release all kinds of chemicals, and some of them are classed as cytokines, and some of them are very inflammatory. And when this happens in a normal course of events, when the inflammation response is operating correctly, you want some of those inflammatory chemicals because that's part of the healing response. What happens, though, is sometimes it goes haywire. And under certain conditions, you can start just pouring these cytokines out into the bloodstream, and it's just a cascade of inflammation, and it's very, very dangerous. And elevated levels like that are what's called the cytokine storm. And you certainly don't want that. Now, so two of the supplements that have these internet rumors going about their connection to the cytokine storm, or potential for the cytokine storm, are vitamin D and elderberry extract, two supplements that I have been recommending for immune system function and fortification for as long as I've been doing these videos, for as long as I've been writing books. Those are two of my go-tos. So clearly I was disturbed to know that there were some discussions about elderberry extract, let's start with that, causing a cytokine storm. It turns out, actually, when you do a review of the literature and you look at what the experts who look at that literature are saying, the rumor or the belief that it might contribute to a cytokine storm are all traceable to a couple of studies done in 2001 and 2002 when they looked at a particular kind of cell called a monocyte. And they noticed that some inflammatory cytokines did increase when that cell was bathed in elderberry extract. But to put it in perspective, that's one cell in an entire arsenal of immune system cells that are constantly releasing anti and pro-inflammatory compounds. And to look at what one cell does in that whole system and only look at it out of context like that is not a basis for saying, if you bathe the whole body in elderberry, oh, you're going to have a cytokine storm. That is a leap that is just not justified. And just, by the way, for comparison, when you run a marathon, you have 100-fold increase in certain of these inflammatory compounds. And in real cytokine storms, you can have a 4,000 to 5,000% increase. So this very specific study that was done almost 20 years ago is really not the basis for avoiding elderberry. In fact, research is very, very clear that elderberry actually shortens the number of days you're out with the flu. It's been effective against certain other kinds of microbes. Of course, we don't know if it's effective against coronavirus. We're all guessing on these things, but this has a proven track record of being one of the safest and best botanicals that we know in botanical medicine. So I'm going to stick with my recommendations for elderberry extract as one of your immune system fortifiers. And the second thing that seems to be the subject of some of these rumors is vitamin D. And that's kind of counterintuitive because vitamin D does, in fact, stimulate good things in the immune system. So I did a literature search where I put in vitamin D and cytokine storm, and the only things that came up time and time again in published literature was that vitamin D has the opposite effect of stimulating a cytokine storm. In fact, it is anti-inflammatory. It helps reduce all kinds of different inflammatory markers. It is absolutely associated with better immunity because there's a lot of studies showing that people with low levels of vitamin D, which is, by the way, most of us in this country, don't have optimally functioning immune systems. So Again, I have been unable to verify scientifically any reason to stop taking vitamin D, especially in a healthy population. I'll put this caveat in. Perhaps, maybe, in some critical and important cases of pneumonia or acute respiratory disease, there may be some anomalies with that person's immune system, and with cases like that, I would take what we're suggesting you take with the advice and supervision of a knowledgeable health practitioner, someone who knows what these vitamins and supplements that we all talk about, vitamin C, vitamin D, zinc, and selenium, and NAC, and elderberry, and olive leaf extract, all of these immune fortifying things. You want to take them under the supervision of a doctor or a naturopath or a nutritionist who really knows what they do and also knows your particular medical situation. So I will put that little exception in there that these things should probably be monitored in a very sick population, but I will stand by 100% that these supplements, particularly vitamin D and elderberry, which are the ones that are so controversial now, are completely safe for a healthy population and will do nothing but good for fortifying yourself against any coming challenge. This is Jonny Bowden, and I hope you like this and hit that like button and subscribe to the channel, and I will see you very soon.